We could be making history in League One after dark. Two teams from opposite ends of the country enter in the same boat. Winless in the Jägermeister Cup. Can one of them finally claim victory? It's the Fuego and Tormenta. Here is your presenting sponsor, Daisy Press. Here's a look at your last 5 games. Now, remember, there's 2 wins in 14 games across all competitions for the Fuego, but they are on an up here with this draw last time out against the Richmond Kickers. You have to remember as well, these losses on penalties do technically count on draws as far as the 90 goes. So if you look at their last 5, 3 draws through their last 90, a team grasping for something to hold on to. That is something to build a foundation on. Here is a look at our most recent game that these two teams have played. March 9th, the beginning of the year, the very first game of the season, and guess what? They upset them on the road. Central Valley coming into this one with a lot of new players, a new coach, and they just did not play the way Tormenta thought they would. We'll talk more about it in-game, but they went over the top. They hunted for these goals and were able to unlock this defense and come away with a 2-1 victory right at the beginning of the year. One of the 2 victories for the Fuego on the season. This is how it looks in the West right now. So 3 groups, and the West is where Fuego resides. 4 points. A win could see them move up, and they desperately need to if they want to try and secure one of these spots. Tormenta could have possibly been eliminated tonight, but due to results elsewhere, they will not be. Here's a look at our players to watch. First for the Fuego, Alfredo Medence. They've just needed something to get this team started, and he's been a little bit of the spark recently. He had a goal and an assist in his debut against Lexington, which earned him the Team of the Week, and he scored the game-time goal against Richmond last time out. Maybe he can be that spark off the bench. Player to watch, Sebastian Vivas for the Tormenta visitors. He has just been firing on all cylinders in his first season since coming up to the United States from Argentina. The 27-year-old, 9 goals in 18 appearances, leads this team. He's been scoring in multiple different ways. Watch out for him tonight. Well, folks, a lot to play for. Both teams have never won in this competition. Who can go out and find the first one tonight? Will it be decided in 90? Will we have penalties? Find out when we bring lineups and live action when we return with USL After Dark.
At Golden Bear Physical Therapy, our goal is to help you reach the best version of you. We specialize in physical therapy, work injury prevention and rehabilitation, athlete training and sports injury, and so much more. So whether you're trying to get back to work or back to practice, call us today and let us help you.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. Here is the starting 11s for both teams. First for Central Valley. Couple of different new faces in this lineup. Zuluaga is in goal instead of Carlos Aviles. Omar Limas makes his appearance in the starting 11 for the first time in a long time. A lot of these other faces, though, you'll be used to seeing. Dimbor Benson is a new name in this league, but he has a fantastic story, possibly one of the best I've seen in a long time. Apollon back into the starting 11. He'll be out at left back. This is how the home side, the Fuego, line up. Looking over to the visitors, of course, they've been in this back three system for a little while now. Stretch, Dengler, and Kilwine. They're going to stick with that. They've got Ramos in up on the left-hand side, Vivas up front with Waston and Fonseca. Pretty much what we've seen, but Romig is going to be in goal instead of the usual man back there. So we'll see exactly how the back five fits in with the new keeper. Well, we are just about ready to get underway at Fresno State Soccer Stadium in picturesque Fresno, California. The setting sun off in the distance paints a sepia tint across tonight's proceedings. It will be the visitors to get us underway. All we await is the referee's whistle, Yannick Rothfuss, to get us started out on the West Coast. Two teams looking for their first win in this competition. There is the referee's whistle, and we are underway. Well, thank you to all of you not on the West Coast for joining us here, staying up with us late if you're out on the East. My name is Zach Burley. I got here just in time, the direct flight. What a night it is. They're moving these kickoffs a little bit later due to the heat, as one would imagine. These summer months in the Central Valley are hot ones. So they're kicked back to 8 p.m. on the west, 11 p.m. on the east. So this game is going to take us into tomorrow out on the east. But as of right now, it is absolutely pristine here in Fresno, California. A great crowd has gathered out. Tormenta trying to strike first. Good cross inside, sent away by Nimbard. And already our first corner kick of the evening. Coronado and Nimbard combining to clear it away. It'll be Spengler. The game-tying assist against Richmond. Just last game, what can he do with his left-footed in-swinger? Back stick, headed over. Well, the keeper missed it. He probably should have done better with this chance, just 90 seconds in. Rising up and over, Jake Dengler just couldn't put it on target. Zuluaga in goal. Making just his 5th start. Foul is given. Here's a look at it. Coronado caught by his opposite number 21, Jameer Spengler. Surely the offside flag will come up. It will against Zahir Vasquez. Well, we've talked to you about how both teams are looking for their first win, but these are important points to pick up for both teams. A win here could move Central Valley up the table in the West as Nimbard is trying to fend off Niall Watson. Mostly it's just about staying competitive at this point, especially for Tormenta. They're sitting at the bottom of the East on just 1 point. The win on penalties for Richmond means they are now on 7, level with Charlotte. So that is a big, big gap for them to surmount. They actually could have been eliminated had Greenville won and some other results gone away. But in the end, Greenville lose to Lexington, and that keeps them alive. For those of you who are new to the Jägermeister Cup, there are 3 groups of 4 World Cup style. The top group leader will then make it on to a 4-team knockout. Where do you get the 4th team? The highest scoring team will then make it on to the next round. So it doesn't matter your goal difference. You could win every game or lose every game 5-4, honestly, and you could still make it into the tournament. So it prioritizes goal scoring. If the games are tied at the end, we will go to a penalty shootout and award an extra point. Both teams would go home with 1, and the penalty kick winner would then go home with a 2nd point, kind of hockey style, if you're familiar with that at all. So picking up those points for Tormenta are really important. And if they're not going to do that, scoring goals is. The Hailstorm are kind of the runaway leaders as far as goals scored goes. But it's not guaranteed to stay that way. Watson now. Over the top, the header across the face of goal. Nimhard. Zuluaga with the punch. Unconventional from the keeper. First real opportunity since that header by Jake Dingler. Tormenta applying a lot of very early pressure. Dingler goes long. Zuluaga barely getting there in the nick of time. Had to time it just right because Vivas was bearing down. You can see right across goal. I mean, it's this header, just can't get it on target, but Fonseca was trying to get there. And the punch away. Suspect. Said at the top of the show, 2 wins in 14 games across all competitions. We consider it 3 if you count the wins on penalty kicks. Usually penalty kicks count as a draw. They did beat Spokane on penalties in the Jägermeister Cup. Doesn't get much better for South Georgia. And Ian Cameron's men, no wins in their last 5, 0-2-3. They have just 1 win in their last 10. This is after a pretty decent start. They had 5 wins in their first 8 games of the season. The wheels have just fallen off here recently. What's funny is they're not even in that bad of a spot when it comes to the league. They're still hunting for a playoff spot and well within contention of one, thanks to that good start. But it's been here in the Jägermeister Cup that their fortunes have really suffered.
I can't zoom out anymore. This is as much as it goes.
Near side.
I can zoom in more.
Hassan, who's playing as the left wing back in this newly revamped back line for Tormenta. Back 3, back 5. Hassan. Vivas. Fonseca goes down on the edge of the 18. Tussling for it. Coronado. Trying to skip around the last man. Here they come now, numbers advantage. Vivas controls it himself. The intervention from behind. And a crucial one. The Argentinian was just about ready to let loose. Ramos here, controlled so wonderfully. Very well done to clear that away. Hassan, blocked out behind. No, it's gonna go off Hassan last for a goal kick. Talked with Jermaine Jones, head coach of Central Valley. The lead up to this one. Asked him about that match against Richmond. 1-1. He said he thought they played well. Obviously, not losing is a huge deal. He said, but really what they're trying to do is just fixing their mindset, believing you can win. He says when you get in these ruts and go through long periods of your season without a win, it's easy to forget that you can win. And that's the biggest belief that they're trying to do right now. Just use those as building blocks. Hassan, it's been nearly all Tormenta so far. Settled by Spangler. Hassan. Watson muscled it off. Great defending by Nimbard. Here's a look at the injury report brought to you by Golden Bear Physical Therapy. Ramos was a big question mark coming into this one. He'll be out with a knee injury. Much less injury issues than some other teams in the league. Just been a consistency thing as Fonseca swings and misses. Preston Kilwine. Omar Lemus. Can probably count on one hand how many touches the Fuego have had in the attacking half. Just have not been able to build out and sustain possession in the other end. Case in point, go out for a goal kick. Central Valley are coming off of a very long break. It's been a relatively quiet month of June. Only 3 games in the last 30 days. And it's thanks to their bye week. Coach Jones saying he really pushed the guys, focused a lot on fitness. He says, you know, during the season, it's a lot harder to focus on those things when it's game travel. Actually getting into running and working on those sorts of things is much harder. So they did some of that, and they also gave some people some break. He said being able to see your family and friends can be a real boost. Here comes Apollon now. Foot race with Heckenberg. He gets by. Apollon on his right! Dinks it off the post! Back to front. They very nearly pulled it off. Broke away. And in the end, a stop at the back by Roaming. And the sacred geometry of chance denies them. Apollon. Beautiful tackle on the end line, out for their first corner kick. Well, this is exactly how the game unfolded at the beginning of the year. Coach Ian Cameron saying, you know, we kind of expected to come in with one thing and we tried to press them and use possession. So they just went right over us. They skipped the lines. They went direct, and it worked for them then. They're trying to reevaluate this time around and not be hurt the same way twice. Javier Mariona. Top of the box. Shot from way out is way over.
Now that one's in the cheap seats. Goal kick. Tormenta.
That just shows you exactly how dangerous this Fuego team can be. They don't need many opportunities. Nimbard, who's won just about every challenge in behind. Thumping header by Kilwine. Down for Vasquez. Foul right on the midfield stripe. Competition is heating up this summer on CBS. Sacramento Republic FC look for revenge against the red-hot Oakland Roots SC on Sunday, July 21st at 4 p.m. Eastern. And on August 3rd at 4 p.m., surging Detroit City hosts newcomer Rhode Island for the first time as the USL Summer of Soccer continues on CBS. Vasquez was hoping to hear the whistle in his favor. Not to be. And already we've seen a little bit more bright spots going forward for the Fuego as they started to settle their way into this one. Hassan. Siobhan John Brown. Just coming off of international duty. He has played every minute of every game so far for Central Valley, but got to rejoin up with Granada. It starts in the 5th and the 9th of June in World Cup qualifying. A 2-2 draw against Trinidad and Tobago and a 3-0 loss to Costa Rica. So his first appearances in a little bit for Granada, so it's good to see him back there. Watson. Header in, straight at Zuluaga.
Great action.
Crosses have been very dangerous so far. Vivas read it the whole way, but Zuluaga confidently palming it away. Foul given. Steedman now. It's our first attacking set piece that's not a corner. We've already seen these aerial headers from Tormenta have been very, very dangerous. Waves away, Spangler. It'll just be Daniel Steedman. Lobs one in, might go in on its own, and it does!
Goal scored by Tormenta.
Daniel Steedman floats one in from distance in Tormenta lead. Just over 15 minutes in,
Number 8, Daniel Steedman.
they have been pushing for that opening goal. We thought there might be one off of an attacking set piece, but I don't think anyone drew it up that way. I mean, he puts this high up in the sky, gets caught in the jet stream, and just keeps floating on. Could always tell it was gonna miss any of those trying to get a service on it. But what it doesn't miss is dipping down under the bar. I do believe that is Daniel Steedman's first professional goal. Spent time at NCFC, Atlanta United 2. The Scotsman who played for UVA, had a very successful career there, made it all the way to the final back in 2019. I remember that game vividly. That was the incredible team that had Daryl DK on it. They're trying to get another. Space and time, high and wide. But he made it all the way to the final. They lost on penalties to Georgetown. It was that #1 ranked Virginia team that was just so powerful. I mean, one of the best men's college teams of recent memory. Got to see him play on a couple of occasions, both of the semifinal and the final. So got to see him play in the second round when #1 Virginia took down Campbell, the Fighting Camels, at home. Klockner Stadium, one of the best places to watch a college game anywhere in the country. Another foul and another opportunity from the free kick. Now if Steedman puts one in again, that really would be a top all-time League One After Dark moment. This is a very similar area, a little bit further away. Surely the Scotsman can't do it again. Drives another one, and it's way up there. A great header, but it's wide. The offside flag would have blown it dead anyways. Steedman is putting these lofty balls in. They're going deep to the back line. And in the end, Dangler now, he could have a brace. 2 headers he probably should have done better with. Kilwine. Vivas. Tangled up on the edge of the box. Coronado dispossessed. Fonseca. Clattered over from behind. Mariona. Really shouldn't come as a surprise. Central Valley conceding during that period of the game. It's that middle third of the first half, that 16 to 30 minute mark. In the league and the cup combined, they've conceded 7 goals during that period. That is tied for the most of any team. So once they kind of get that first 15 in, things have kind of fallen apart for them. Can hear Ian Cameron's Scottish brogue in the background. Talked to him about that game against Chattanooga, scoring when they were a man down. Said it's hard to filter in those games, and it's hard to get what you want through and hard to look at them afterwards because the red card, Nick Akoto received it, by the way, can just be hard to really register. He said there was definitely positives in that game. They really wanted the draw. Zapalan dispossessed by Stretch and then fouled by Stretch. So, but I just felt it was a lack of management and maturity in that loss. They fought so hard to get the goal to tie things up, to give one up late. And we're looking for some building on that maturity today, having taken an early lead. So now their first real attacking set piece that's not a corner. Last corner kick was a little overcooked as we approach the halfway point of half number 1. A left-footed option and a right-footed option. Mariano with the right. Left-footed ball in, overcooked once more. It'll go all the way out for a throw on the far side. It's the 7th meeting between these two teams. It is so very evenly balanced. 3 wins for Central Valley, 3 wins for Tormenta. Funnily enough, the home team very rarely wins in these. Out of the 6 previous meetings, the home team has only won twice. Away team winning 4 times. Just to add on to that, what makes it even funnier is that both of the home wins came last season, each side winning once in 2023 at home. It was those first 3 games back in 2022 that were all won by the away side. All of those games were shutouts as well. Mariona on his right. It's going to trickle its way through, blocked out. The 19-year-old Javier Mariano. Siobhan John Brown, no way through on Fonseca. Skips around the corner. Referee plays advantage. Tries to curl one in behind the back line. In the end, well acquitted there by Robert Coronado. Should be no surprise. The most experienced players on the field. Watson drives on across. Pull the emergency switch. Sends it out for a throw. Fonseca. Whips one in. Good punch by Zuluaga. First three meetings between these two teams were all shutouts. There has not been one since. In fact, they've been close affairs these last few. All three of the most recent meetings have been one-goal games. All six of those previous meetings have come in League One. This is the first time they are meeting outside of that competition. So we'll see. Technically, there can be a draw tonight, but it will be decided on penalties. That may be in the spirit of this. The referee, Yannick Rothfuss, will give a final warning. With Jean-Jamir Spengler.
Substitutions for the Fuego. Coming on the pitch. Number 23, Andre Carlos Albanese.
So a double substitution here early. This is not uncommon for Jermaine Jones to do. Zuluaga, we saw some of his handling early on, electing to punch rather than to grab. Obviously on the goal there, the ball going in over his head. It's a tough one because that ball really does catch up in the air. Now it isn't quite as oblivious or obvious as one would think. So an early double substitution. Electing to take a different direction here. There's another substitution along the back line. Actually, you see Yaya. Zahir Vasquez replaced, which is an interesting one because Vasquez was playing a little further up the field and Yaya is going to go in defense. So we'll see just who gets slid around into where. Lemus tries to chase down, bodied by Kilwine. Thrown in. John Brown. Blast off their own man. Unfortunate deflection. I'm sure there are a lot of Tormenta fans watching. Being that you're on the road, we want to wish you a very happy birthday to their Senior Director of Soccer Operations, Bryce Judy. Happy birthday, Bryce. Just about to the half-hour mark. Tune in to ESPN2 for a USL Summer of Soccer showdown between the championship Eastern Conference rivals. Charleston Battery and Golden Boot leader Nick Maranich take on the Boston Legion. Their dual scoring threats Enzo Martinez and Tyler Pasher. Friday, July 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern. That is on ESPN2. Set pieces have been fruitful. As Daniel Steedman gets direction from his fellow Scotsman. A little bit of a break in his resume. Steedman, he left college early, was drafted by Austin, eventually found his way to Atlanta United, floated around on loan with NCFC. Steedman lobs another one in. Aviles punches. Takes a wicked spin bounce out for a throw rather than a corner. Steedman then went on to his third MLS team in Charlotte. Spent some time with the reserve team, Crown Legacy. Lobbed in. Headed towards goal. Dangler again. It really has bounced around Daniel Steedman, but perhaps now has finally found a home. Starting 8 consecutive games, getting a goal here. It'll be in an unconventional fashion. Mariota now. Muscled off of it by Steedman. Watson and Nimbard. Closed down by 2. Fonseca right down the middle for Watson, but he just doesn't quite time the run right. And he might have been offside anyways, he was. Deshaun Nimbard joined the team late in the season. Coach Jones saying they were just looking for somebody to help play a role in that defense, and they just happened to be there. It's a really good pickup considering his experience the last 2 seasons at Tormenta, where he put in over 60 appearances, as well as being a Belize international. No one home. Should be offside. Still he goes on. Vivas puts it wide. The referee would not have given the offside either. We'll take a look at it. It was very close. In the end, Vivas puts it wide by about a few feet. Now will take us to the first half hydration break. A scorcher out in the Central Valley. Tormenta has scored early through unconventional fashion. A Daniel Steedman free kick that goes directly in over Zuluaga's head. Here is a look at the team of round 4 in the USL Jägermeister Cup. Liam McKinnon in the Greenville Triumph holding coach of the round, and Rick Wright and player of the round. Robert Coronado, Fuego's own, makes it in after a very good week. And then, of course, an incredible performance from Northern Colorado. They have been one of the best teams, both in goal scoring and overall. Horde, King, Opara, and Rendon. Rendon, who also had a good night tonight. Austin Pack in goal has just been phenomenal all season long. A couple of the Owls in there as well. So we'll see exactly who makes it into the team of the round this time around. We've seen some really great contenders already in some of our other games. Maybe Steedman. If he can add another goal to his name, he'll be in that contention. We've seen a couple of really good performances. Neil Vinyals with 2 goals and then a penalty in the penalty shootout. But it could be any number of the players on the field right now, as we are still very early in this contest. Here is a look at what comes up this week and this weekend in the upcoming USL regular season schedule. So, of course, on the week we have 2 games in midweek. Central Valley, not a lot of games recently, but they're coming thick and fast as they take a trip up to Colorado to play the Hailstorm. It's an important one on ESPN+. Also Wednesday, you can watch over on CBS Sports Network as the Richmond Kickers host Forward Madison, two of the most top-attended teams in the league. Then Friday, we're prepping your weekend as South Georgia play at home against Knoxville. That should be a really good one, especially with Knoxville trying to continue their climb up the table. And then a 3-game 1-7, 2-9 p.m. kickoffs on Saturday, all on ESPN+. 2 out west, Northern Colorado and Spokane, and then Lexington and Union Omaha. Lexington just picking up a big win tonight against Greenville. They might be able to build something there and try and take down Union Omaha, are really putting together a fantastic season this year, as they have in so many recently. So that's what you got to look forward to. If you had plans this week, cancel them. So we are just about ready to get back underway. Daniel Steedman from Glasgow. Right about where the ball is now is where his free kick came in from. Trying to hop on one here. Vivas almost took a deflection, but Avilés was equal to it. Final 10 minutes plus stoppage time. Coronado evades Fonseca. This has also been a dangerous period goal-scoring wise for South Georgia in cup games so far. They've scored 3 goals in the final 15 minutes before the first half. So we'll see if they're able to add one. Double their tally going into halftime. What's really incredible is the fact that Central Valley are the only team in this competition who have not scored a goal in the entirety of the first half. Now, this pertains only to cup games, but they have not scored. They're the only ones to have not done so. And how desperately they need a goal here. It would really change the outlook if they could get one before the half. Beautiful ball in behind. Lemus lays one in. Mariona tries to toe poke it. Best opportunity we've seen since that deny opportunity of Apollon. Clayton Torr. Siobhan John Brown drives it across. It's over everyone. Took a deflection all the way through. This is what Jermaine Jones and the fans here at Fresno State Soccer Stadium want to see. Mariona's been the most active player. Cross driven in. Lemus across, hits his own man. Trying to release Vivas. Apollon trying to go around the outside, fouls the man in the process. Ashkenov Apollon, Haitian international, played the Nations League back in 2022. He has been everywhere. Played for a couple of seasons. Samut Sakhon in the Thai second division. Also played for a team Luk Tabpha before he made a jump across the border in a couple of countries to Vietnam, where he played for Long On in the Vietnamese first division. He returned to the United States to play for Hartford over the last 2 seasons. Made 43 appearances. He's just starting to work his way back into the starting 11. He started the first 6 games, but only has 2 now in the last 7. scored the game-winning goal against Tormenta at the beginning of the year. One of just 2 victories on the season for the Fuego. Steedman. Offside flag comes up against Watson. Englishman Niall Watson. Another real journeyman. Taking a lot of different paths to get here, playing on the right wing from Maghall, England. Started off with Accrington Staley. Jumped across the Irish Sea to play for a couple of Irish teams, including the Sligo Rovers. Turned to England, National League North with Southport FC, who's been with the last few years, over 120 appearances, 33 goals. He's now made the switch from Southport to South Georgia. Lemus whips one in. Final 5 minutes plus stoppage time, of which there'll be a few because of the hydration break. Lemus goes up, fouls. I do think this was an honest attempt at the ball. We'll take a look. You can see Fonseca. And Lemus is definitely going up to try and win the ball. Just collides with Fonseca. So Lemus is the one worse for wear. Select, the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship and many elite leagues throughout Europe. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Ramos. Spengler. Out for a goal kick. Not been too bad on the road so far this season, South Georgia. 2-2-3. But it has been a while. Their last away win coming all the way back in April. 0-2-4 since. The referee will issue a yellow card out for Steedman.
Yellow card was come out of the pocket and has been issued to number 8.
Let's take a look at it.
Steedman, Tormenta FC.
It's in there late on Siobhan John Brown. Doesn't get the ball. Catches him on the foot. Last season, Tormenta really made their names as a road warrior team. They were 7-3-7. They actually had a better points per match record on the road than at home. Of course, that were the defending USL champions last season. Clayton Torr will receive a yellow card. Steedman, after getting a yellow card, draws one now. Torr Slightly different, but still very much taking down the man. Nothing on the ball. It was heartbreak last year for Tormenta as they ended up missing out on the playoffs in their title defense season by just a point. Hassan, too much to handle for Vivas. Now Steedman, inside the 18, cuts it back on his right. Was arrowing for that bottom right corner on the far post. And this will be their second corner of the evening. Steedman looking for that second goal. Puts Tor on skates, and then Nimhard out for a corner. Well, it's been the Steedman show so far. Should be the last action before we get first half stoppage time. It'll be Steedman's right-footed in swinger. From the near side. Back stick, Dangler again. Once again, nodding it behind for a goal kick. 4 chances now as we have 4 minutes of stoppage time in the first half. Jake Dingler just so unlucky. It's like there's a magnet in his forehead that just draws the ball in. He gets on the end of every one of those crosses. It's a unique ability you find in a lot of center backs. A lot of teams have one. They just have this just incredible ability, nifty ability to just find their way on the end of these crosses. For those who joined us late, Daniel Steedman scoring in the 16th minute. Directly from a free kick that I think he probably meant as a cross. Just held up in the air and found its way in. Trying not to go another game without a goal in the first half, Central Valley. This game marks the passing of the halfway point of the group stage. And a record like that is one they will not want to hold on to. Away by Hassan. Around the corner, Heckenberg right into the arms of Romig.
Don't worry, folks. TV 53 is still on the air.
Drew Romig, the 26-year-old Virginian. He started all 4 of the U.S. Open Cup games and the last 2 Jägermeister Cup games, as well as catching a second half appearance in that last time out against the Red Wolves. Played long as you just catch a glimpse of the beautiful sunset here in the Central Valley. Pastels of orange and purple paint a beautiful picture for us. Threaded in behind, too long. The final minute of stoppage time. Gets around Nimhard. Away by Kilwine. Hassan. Fonseca. Vivas down the middle with Watson. Kept in play on the end line. Final 10 seconds of the first half. Mariona. Maybe one last opportunity to find that first half goal. Not to be, as the referee will blow for halftime. A Daniel Steedman goal, and the 16th minute separates us as Central Valley go yet another 45 in the first half without a goal in the cup. Both sides back and forth, giving it their all, but in the end, through the first 45 at least, Tormenta with their noses out in front. Still waiting for this game to truly explode. But as it stands, the free kick stunner separates us at the halftime mark.
At Golden Bear Physical Therapy, our goal is to help you reach the best version of you. We specialize in physical therapy, work injury prevention and rehabilitation, athlete training and sports injury, and so much more. So whether you're trying to get back to work or back to practice, call us today and let us help you.
Welcome back to Fresno, California, where the Central Valley Fuego are down 1-0 at the half. For more on the recent action in the Jägermeister Cup, let's toss it to the pride of Omaha in Donnie Barnes. Take it away, Donnie.
Well, let's look back on round 4 of the USL Jägermeister Cup, and we begin in Knoxville. 1-0 early in the second half against Lexington. Rivalry game, and they grabbed the lead in the 50th minute. Jalen Chrysler powering home that goal. Again, the short routine worked well. Johnson with the cross in, and Chrysler able to split the defense. It's been an issue for Lexington this year, and it haunted them again as they fell behind in the 50th minute. And then in the 74th, 1-0 would put it away. It looked like this ball was headed out of play, but kept in brilliantly and slammed in by Francis Ross, who arrived at exactly the right moment. 2-0, 1-0 over Lexington SC. On to Richmond then in City Stadium, where Charlotte Independence defeated Richmond Kickers with a goal in first half stoppage time. Tapped in by Juan Obregon, set up beautifully by his teammates. A really well-worked goal. You see Obregon toward the beginning of it as he got that ball moving to the top of the area and then was on the receiving end as well. And Charlotte would hold on despite some good chances for Richmond and some pressure in the second half. Adrian Billhart splitting the defense with a line-breaking pass there. It looked like it was going to spin across the line. Brilliant clearance off the line. Second ball was over the net, and it would end 1-0 to Charlotte. In Chattanooga, forward Madison looking to stay hot, and they would indeed, as they scored the game's lone goal in the 43rd minute. Juan Galindrez, what a goal. Whether you want to call it a bicycle kick, a scissor kick, something in between, it was spectacular. One of the goals of the season in USL, whether in league or in cup play, and Galindrez put forward Madison ahead just before the break. Chattanooga would also come close in the second half. They had chances as well. Couple chances here, that went into the side netting, but it just wouldn't go for Chattanooga. Ricky Ruiz here also firing on goal. Second ball from Javon Marsh, fired across the face. It stayed out, and forward Madison held on for the 1-0 win. The crazy game of the round happened in Northern Colorado. Bruno Rendon would score the game's opening goal. All these goals happened in the second half. It was 0-0 at halftime. Clayton Torr leveled in the 61st minute for Fuego. That was just the start of the chaos. 4 minutes later, Jackson Diedrich made it 2-1 in favor of Northern Colorado. 5 minutes after that, in the 70th, it would be Ethan Horde rising to nod that home. It was 3-1. Looked like Northern Colorado would cruise from there, right? Not so, because back came Central Valley in the 80th minute. Robert Coronado converting a penalty just past the diving keeper, and that was 3-2 with 10 minutes left. And just 3 minutes after that, it was 3-3. Ball served in from the left side. Raul Mendiola able to roll it in. All even at 3, but just a minute after that, Northern Colorado grabbed the lead again for good. From close range, Danny Robles finished 4-3, hailstorm extinguishing Fuego. On to South Georgia then. Another great game, this one between Tormenta and Greenville. We saw 2 goals in the first 13 minutes here. In the 5th, it was Leo Castro, the veteran. Aren't those Greenville kits sharp, too? 1-0 in favor of Greenville. In the 13th, Tormenta were level. Nice cutback that took a kind deflection from Tormenta's standpoint, and Augustine Wayner was on hand to make it 1-1. It would stay 1-1 until late in this game. Looked like perhaps we were headed for penalties, but then Liam McKinnon showed up, as he always does. The Liam McKinnon show continuing here in 2024. In the 80th, he put them ahead 2-1. And in the 89th, with Tormenta pushing for the equalizer, they got caught on the counter, and Liam McKinnon made them pay again. 3-1, Greenville defeating Tormenta. On Thursday, the 13th, Omaha and Spokane. This was an opening goal, or I should say an equalizer for Omaha. Take it back. That was the first goal, 1-0 in favor of the Owls as Misael Rodriguez continued his hot start to the year. Former Owl Luis Heel would level it up in the 33rd as he powered it past former teammate Rashid Nuhu. It was 1-1. In the 63rd, though, Union Omaha grabbed the lead for good. From the corner kick, Pedro Dolabella continuing his terrific campaign. Then in the 82nd, Lagos Kunga, all by himself, dribbling through the right side, beating the goalkeeper from that angle. And then Steven Dos Santos would add another in stoppage time. And the Owls, a convincing 4-1 victory over Spokane to get them back in contention in Group 2.
New flavors. The same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador. Spiked Bebidas.
The best nights start with Jägermeister. Made with 56 botanicals. Always served ice cold.
Take a miracle to come back from this. Heartbreaking end to the season. But what's this?
For the moments when anticipation
Clock's counting down. 5 seconds. 3, 2.
becomes celebration. Jägermeister. Meister the moment.
What a moment.
Clipped
toward Billhart. Adrian Billhart! Richmond are level in stoppage time.
Oh, it's volleyed in. Galindres. Wow. Unbelievable. Welcome back. Where night has fallen in Fresno, California, the Fuego 1-0 down to Tormenta after the first 45. What an exciting time of year it is. It's not only July 4th week, but it's also the start of the USL Summer of Soccer. And we can't wait to bring it all to you. It starts off early on Wednesday. Get your prep in for the 4th by joining us over on the CBS Sports Network as the Richmond Kickers host Forward Madison at 8 p.m. And it just keeps rolling. Forget the fireworks. Watch Switchbacks in Tulsa. And then as you wrap things up to the month of July, tons and tons more games. The 21st, Oakland Roots, Sac Republic, NorCal rivalry between those two. Later on in the month and into August, it just keeps going. Detroit City, Rhode Island, new team against a team that's building. We've got that one for you over on CBS. This league has grown so much. We're talking about being on national television now. ESPN2, CBS Sports Network, CBS. You can watch it all. The Summer of Soccer reigns supreme. League One and Championship. You can catch it all across multiple networks as well as all games that aren't televised there here on ESPN Plus. We love bringing it to you, and we hope you enjoy watching it. Make sure to check out CBS, CBS Sports Network, and ESPN2 for the USL Championship and League One Summer of Soccer. We'll have a lot more for you when we return from Fresno. Stick with us. We'll be right back after this.
At Golden Bear Physical Therapy, our goal is to help you reach the best version of you. We specialize in physical therapy, work injury prevention and rehabilitation, athlete training and sports injury, and so much more. So whether you're trying to get back to work or back to practice, call us today and let us help you.
Jägermeister is proud to be the presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. Now let's take a look at our first half highlights. Here's how it went in the first 45. Fuego started out early. There was some early pressure, but they built out of it, skipping by Steedman, who you'll hear about in a second. And then this stop by Romig is crucial because just a few minutes later, they would find opening opportunities. Whipped in, misses just about everyone. Zuluaga denying. A couple of early interventions from the goalkeepers. And we got our opening goal in unconventional fashion. I don't think anyone drew it up like this, except for Daniel Steedman. Puts it in. That's a goal of the week contender right there. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. We might see that one in the morning on SportsCenter. Daniel Steedman rifling one in from distance, making it 1-0. It was a lot of first half action for Tormenta. Zuluaga, one of his last interventions as he was then substituted off for Carlos Aviles. And that was how it went in the first 45. Still looking for their first goal of the first half. It won't come this time around. 17-7 on shots. It really was a lot from South Georgia in the first half. 7-4 on corner kicks. Yellow cards, 2-1. Possession very even. Central Valley did grow in periods of those games, but they could never put together a full, I would say 15 minutes where they really dominated and were able to tighten the screw, force South Georgia back, and really put them under pressure. There would be these slight bursts and flashes where we saw a little bit of what they can do, but not really enough. And they really did not get Dimbor Benson involved as much as they would have wanted. Those are your halftime stats. We go back down to the action. Dimbor Benson said the name. There is the man. One of the best stories in all of American soccer. He'll get us underway for the home team. All in red with the white trim. All we await is Yannick Rothfuss's whistle. There it is. Here we go. Half number 2. Finishing off this week's action of USL League One. For those of you on the East Coast, well, happy Sunday to you. Those of you on the West, thanks for tuning in. I'm Zach Burley. It's a privilege, as always, to bring these games to you, especially when they are after dark on the West Coast. There is no better time of the day. Here's Lemus. Thighed away to the edge of the box. Straight up. Along by Benson. It's a really important game for both of these teams. Tormenta very well could have been eliminated today. Thanks to results elsewhere, they won't be, but that doesn't mean they don't need the points, or they can wait till next week. Eliminated is not the ideal situation, but just kind of petering along without really advancing isn't either. 3 points would be big for them, just to keep them in contention in the East. Greenville are stuck on 9 points. Driven across. Edge of the box, Siobhan Brown. Clayton Torr coming swinging out of the blocks, blocked by Dangler. That one had some sting on it. Yeah, everybody dropping points in the East is really big for Tormenta. Probably couldn't have gone better for them. Greenville dropping all 3, and then Charlotte and Richmond drawing, meaning that Charlotte drops 2 and Richmond drops 1. That's about the perfect result they could have asked for. But they need all 3 realistically to even keep their hopes alive, as we'll get our first corner kick of the second half. There were substitutions at halftime. Carrera Garcia comes on for Coronado. Apollon off for Medenza, our player to watch before the game. We'll see what he can do off of the bench. It was Apollon's first half near miss that was saved. It'll be the first intervention for Alfredo Medenza. What can the 21-year-old do from the set piece? Dimbor Benson deflected, and Romig picks it up with ease. Just as important of a game for Central Valley. Trying to pick up some points to move higher up the table. They're in a really tough spot because they've got Omaha and the Hailstorm. 2 of the best teams, not only in the league, but the Hailstorm particularly strong here in the Jägermeister Cup. Hailstorm are top of the group at 12, Omaha at 10. So 3 points here would take them on to 7. Still very much keep them within striking distance with 3 games remaining in the group. But if they stay on 4, they cannot be technically eliminated today. But it's going to make the math very difficult for them to still win the group. And then things start to rely on goals scored, which, as you can tell from the scoreline right now, is not exactly something I'd bank on for either of these teams. Anything's possible, though. Threatening to take this short. They will go along with it. Romig. It's been 2023 at Memphis. 22 appearances in 5 clean sheets. He's familiar with this Tormenta group. Played with Tormenta 2 back in 2021. Before that, played his college ball at UNC Chapel Hill, the Tar Heels. Here they come. Fuego. Mariota dispossessed. Back heel to keep it in play. Takes out the board. Still recovering. Nicked away by John Brown. Carrera Garcia. Around the outside for Lemus. Driven cross. It's a real intensity to start this second half. Mariota for Tor. Good cross. Benson straight at Romig.
So close.
Best opportunity in a while for the Fuego. Beautiful cross. Benson rises up. In the end, relatively comfortable, but still a threatening opportunity. Great opportunity to talk about Dimbor Benson, one of my favorite stories in all of American soccer. Spent the last two seasons playing with El Farolito, which is the team that captured everyone's hearts during their U.S. Open Cup run this season, actually knocking out Central Valley. They had this remarkable run named after a burrito restaurant in California. And Dimbor Benson played for them. He scored 2 goals, including the game winner against Central Valley, knocking them out. He had 4 goals in 3 U.S. Open Cup games, and he drew so much attention from this Central Valley coaching staff that they signed him to a pro deal. Carrera Garcia, Benson back to goal. Mariota now. Space closing in, and Roman hops on it. I was talking with Jermaine Jones, the coach of the Fuego, about Benson. So they're really missing a true number 9. She didn't really have anybody like him. They were creating the chances, but they just didn't have the person up top to score them.
Sorry, you lagged out right there. What did you say?
Referee. I see exactly what the call is here. Final warning on time wasting, I believe. But Coach Jones saying they were missing a number 9. They were creating the chances. They just weren't finishing them. So naturally, when they saw Benson score 2 against them in the Open Cup, they had that light bulb go off and say, this might be our man. Then Jermaine Jones found out that he actually played against Benson's brother for the U.S. national team. His brother, Jerry Benson, had 70 appearances and 23 goals for Honduras, and actually faced off against Jermaine Jones during his time with the U.S. men's national team. And that really just all came together and combined to bring Benson not only to the team but to the starting 11 And it's just such an amazing story. El Farolito was really the heart of what the Open Cup is and what American soccer is. It's Fonseca. Just cleared behind for a corner. And Dimbor Benson just embodying really the purity of this sport in this country. Their first corner kick of this second half. Their third overall. Loading up the 6-yard box. Middle of the box once again. Dengler gets on the end of it and puts it wide once again. He must be thinking that it might never come. You'd need 2 hands to count the number of chances he's created off corners and set pieces. And he's just put him wide. You can tell how frustrated he is by it. He could have put this game to bed a very long time ago. And remember, those goals not going in are very important. For those of you who joined late, just to break down this competition, 3 groups. The group winner goes through to the semifinals. The 4th spot is determined by the team, not already qualified, who has scored the most goals. Not goal difference. Doesn't matter if you win games by 1 goal, but you scored a bunch. That's all that matters, the amount scored. So, missing those opportunities as we see a substitution here for Tormenta, their first of the game, really could come back to haunt them. Tavio Dalmea. '23-year-old in the Côte d'Ivory. Deep throw for Preston Kilwine in Tormenta. Scoring lots of goals has been something that has not evaded Tormenta. They've scored 3 or more on 5 occasions, including 4 of their first 8 games. Remember, I was saying they had 5 wins in their first 8, none in their last 5. Only 1 in their last 10, so those glut of goals they were scoring helped them to those early wins. On the other hand, for Central Valley, they've only scored 3 or more once, and that was actually in a loss, a 4-3 loss to Northern Colorado. Here they come, though, through the line. Siobhan John Brown skips the keeper, rolls it into the side netting. Carrera Garcia, beautifully weighted, does so well to get around the keeper, but in the end just couldn't place it on target. It would have been hard anyways to beat Callum Stretch. Blocked out of play for a Tormenta throw. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. Plus hear live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM 157. Good work defensively. Good crowd is gathered out here at Fresno State Soccer Stadium. All he needs a goal. Lemus. Tor. Lemus well over. Had a great conversation with Jermaine Jones about his perspective, having been all over the world. I asked him, you're German-born, of African-American descent, coached all over the world, played all over the world, places with multiple languages, different styles. And I said, now you're in Central Valley, a place that has a brilliant rooting of this sport in Latin culture. I said, what is it like? What are you teaching the players there, learning also yourself from them and from the community? And he said he doesn't really see himself as a coach as much as just a person who wants to help people. He says just through his own experiences, he can connect with players, during his time at Schalke, which he felt was a really, working class community, which it was. He said it feels very similar to Fresno. And so there's a lot of parallels he can draw. But he's trying to counsel these players while also learning. He said, life is about learning. As with this team, coaching a lot of young players. So they're allowed to make mistakes, as am I. So the thing is, you have to learn. It's the same in life, he said. It's been a learning process and a teaching one. Tor. Right into that middle 15 minutes again. I told you 7 goals allowed in the middle 15 minutes of the first half. 6 goals allowed in the middle 15 of the second. It's the most of any team in both. Chasing in behind. Romig will get there. So once again, just a matter of concentration at the start and the ends of halves, but it's this middle segment where things kind of fall off. That's exactly where the first goal came, was in the 16th minute. So make that now 8 goals allowed in the middle 15 of the first half. And really, if you're Tormenta, you want to be picking up not only points, but also goals from a fixture like this. Knowing that Tormenta, or rather the Fuego, are at the bottom of the table. You want to be getting maximum squeeze out of this. Lemus in line. Sticks one across. The way the schedule works is you play 8 games. And you play each team in your group, so the other 3 teams home and away, so that's 6. You then have 2 games against teams not in your group, so not everyone is guaranteed to play the Fuego, especially in the East. So this is a place you have to pick up points, and you'd also like to score as many goals as possible, knowing that it's not going to be as easy for everyone else. Carrera Garcia can't wrangle it. Settling, firing up and over. Not the first time we've seen that tonight. Tor settling. Not the first time we've seen them fire over. Clayton Tor, who's played all but 39 minutes coming into tonight. Coach Jones saying he's down to learn. Coming in from college. Played at Cal Fullerton. He said he's asking a lot of questions. He said of all the players on the team, he's made some of the largest progress from the start of the season till now. Almeida called for the foul. It's a pair of substitutes waiting in the wing. Tor. Madin's now injecting a little pace. Drives across in. John Brown was the target. This will give Tormenta the opportunity to sub now.
Coming off the field is number 9.
So Vivas will come off. Austin Winner.
Vivas is coming on, number 15, Austin Weiner.
Spengler will be the other for Tunbridge.
16, Mason Tunbridge. Coming off, number 21, Ashmere Spengler.
So two 23-year-olds will enter. Tunbridge, the Englishman. Winner, a California native. Spent a lot of time, including college, out here on the West Coast. San Diego State, and then went on to Sacramento State. So he'll be very familiar with the stomping grounds out in Fresno. Over the end line and out for a goal kick. Tormenta still holding on, trying to secure the clean sheet. Would be their 4th of the season. All of the other ones have come in League One. Not the best of records as far as clean sheets go, but also not the worst. Central Valley just 2 clean sheets, both of which have come in this competition. Defensively, they've actually been better in this competition than in the league. Unfortunately, though, both of those shutouts, they themselves did not score. They lost both on penalties. Fonseca now on his right, trying to pick out that upper 90. Screwed it wide. You see a nice layoff here by Winner. You can see what Fonseca was trying to do. Two goals in League One for the Brazilian. It's laid off here, fired in! Madin's levels it for the Fuego. Goals in back-to-back games. Just what the doctor ordered. Got the game-tying goal against Richmond as Siobhan John Brown holds it up beautifully and side foots it into the bottom corner. The substitute Madin's, 2 goals in 2 games. Just the one man they wanted to answer. Well, a goal out of nothing, really. Alfredo Madin's our player to watch, just as I was talking about clean sheets. I would say the commentator's curse, but I did pick out the player to watch, so I think it all balances in the end.
Alfredo Madin's at the 66-minute mark.
Well, this really changes the complexion of this one now. Tormenta have really just settled in this second half. They're more content to try and play the counter than they did in the first. And now do they switch back on? Picked off by Tor. Carrera Garcia saved! Drew Romig from point blank. Lightning fast reflexes to deny Mariona. This game is turned on its head. Seemed just minutes ago this might be a comfortable victory, easing across the line for Tormenta. Just didn't seem like Central Valley were going to be able to score. They've had one fall in and another quite nearly go in a matter of minutes. Everyone and their mother claiming that one. Will go the way of the Fuego. Lemus. His first appearance is the 13th of April. Started for the first 5 games. It hadn't really appeared since. He's been great tonight, though. He's an outside wing back. He was great last season as well. 32 appearances for the Fuego and 4 assists. After coming in from San Jose 2 and MLS Next Pro, 3 assists there. He's still waiting on that first pro goal. Romig rises up. Hassan, last off of him.
Huh? No.
Just about 20 minutes plus stoppage time remaining. Real twist of the tail here.
Okay.
There has not been a draw in this series history. Medince. John Brown. This Fuego team who looks like they just needed that boost of confidence. Medince battling forward, out for a corner.
Corner kick. Fuego.
That was the thing about Medince, talking with Coach Jermaine Jones. He's got an amazing talent. He's just working on being a pro. It's been the biggest point. Referee spots something in the box. Jose Carrera Garcia prepares to take. He had an assist in the game against Omaha. There's a little pushing and shoving inside the 18. Referee has his eyes glued on it. Backstick header up and over. Clayton Torr. And they are moving closer and closer towards finding that second goal. Mariona was denied. Torr perhaps should have put this one on target. Trying to thread it through. Fonseca blocked behind by Nimhard.
Goal kick. Tormenta FC.
First corner in a little while here in the second half. They're first from this near side. Deep cross. Dangler tries to go across. It'll go behind for a corner on the other side.
The corner kick goes to the other side of the field.
Steedman thinking about taking it. He will. It was his set piece in the first half that got us underway.
Number 8. Daniel Stedman taking the corner. The other side.
Right-footed in-swinger, back stick. Tries to get it back in. Sliding challenge. We'll have to watch the replay of it, the referee. Blows for the foul. There's a real tangle of legs here. Looks like he might have touched the ball along the way, Hassan, who will receive a yellow card, but he probably also went through the back of the man along the way. So Hassan goes on a yellow. Sadiq Hassan made his last appearance all the way back in March. Born in Baghdad, raised in St. Louis. At SIUE. The captain last season. The Ohio Valley Conference regular season and tournament championships, undefeated in both. He's an all-league first-team member as we'll go back to the benches for substitutions.
Substitution on the sideline for Tormenta FC. Coming on the pitch, number 77, Pedro Campos. Coming off is number 10, Pedro Fonseca. Also coming on the pitch is number 11, Jackson Curry. Coming off is number 8.
Jackson Curry will be one of those substitutes who come on, and we wondered how long he would wait on the sidelines. The USL Championship is on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo Network and ESPN Plus. Go to USLChampionship.com for complete USL TV listings. Jackson Curry, who hasn't started any of the last 5 games. After a dynamite first season with the team last year. Outside the 18. Referee blows with a foul. Nimhard, big bid. Pedro Campos immediately hopping on the free kick. So it looks like it'll be Tunbridge with his left foot. Be a 5-man wall. Will Tunbridge go to direct Surely we won't have 2 direct free kicks. Tonbridge goes low. In the end, puts it about a yard wide. Did try and sneak it in. They had a man laying down behind the wall.
Soccer Stadium on Friday, July 19th. As your Central Valley Fuego hosts Spokane FC in the USL Jägermeister Cup. Kickoff is at 8 p.m.
Trying to lay it off. Beautiful ball inside. Heckenberg. No foul, says the referee. Jackson Curry. Seven goals and 6 assists last season for Curry. As I said, no starts in the last 5. It was great to see, though. He plays for the Lebanese national team. He made his debut for Lebanon back in March. Got 4 minutes against Australia, which is the country of his birth. Played just 4 minutes in that 4-0 loss, but still some poetic justice there. Born there, started out his career there for a 2nd division team in Australia. So great to see. One of a number of international or players who have played internationally this season. As we take a break for this momentary stoppage with the physios, we can take a look at the goals in saves of the last round.
Prentice drives one across. Prentice ball. Oh, it's volleyed in. Galindres. Wow. Juan Galindres. Unbelievable. And the former Red Wolf, who is Chattanooga's all-time leading goal scorer, buries an absolute stunner for forward Madison. Back over to Prentice. Prentice somehow stays on it. Here is Wolfgang Prentice. He'll slap one central. Galindres turned away. The follow. Another save. TJ Bush. A brick wall for Chattanooga.
And well, Daniel Steedman's goal in the first half feature in that package next time around. You can see Omar Lemus very gingerly making his way off the field. Been one of the best players on the pitch for Central Valley tonight. I hope it's just a very small issue, being this is his first time on the field for Central Valley since April 13th. Doesn't look like he'll be able to continue. We'll get back underway. The throw deep in the attacking half for Tormenta.
Coming on, number 17. Coming on, number 4.
This is a fruitful period for Central Valley. Tonbridge trying to poke it through. They have 4 goals scored in the final 15 minutes of cup games this season. Tied for the most of any team. Funnily enough, a very similar record for Tormenta. They have 6 goals scored in the final 15 minutes of League One games, which is the second most of any team. So both of these teams know how to score at crunch time at the end of games. Just as a reminder, folks, if this is how the game ends, we will go to a penalty kick shootout. There are no draws in the Jägermeister Cup. Both teams would go home with a point, and then the winner of the penalty kick shootout would go home with a bonus penalty point. Here goes Campos. Winner in the middle, tries to go around the outside. Poked away by Yaya. And a point here really is not enough for either of these teams. They both desperately need the full 3. Winner. Referee plays advantage. Tunbridge. Kilwine. Not too far away. Final 5 minutes plus stoppage. eFootball 2024 is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. Another man struggling here. It's Heckenberg, who spent the last 2 seasons with Tormenta. Started the last 27 games of the 2023 season. That is after coming up through Tormenta 2. Man from Australia, but he really was coming home. He was born in Santa Clara, California. Grew up in Melbourne. Went to college at Cal Baptist. Had a goal and 14 assists for the Lancers. Trying to go through the legs. Mariano. And they're going to leave this one all the way back for Romig. Remember, as far as stoppage time goes, we did not have that hydration break in the second half. We did have lots of substitutions, a couple of injuries. So you're probably looking at a pretty close, similar number, around 4. Carrera Garcia. Kilwine into the advertising boards. Backwards to Yaya. Nimbard pings one out. Beautiful ball. Medence behind for a corner. The man who scored the game-tying goal. He had the game-tying goal against Richmond last time out. Can he one-up himself and assist a game winner? Middle of the box, taken away by Dingler. They'll have a throw on the near side.
Corner taken by number 10. Minutes.
Cromwell now. Gonna take the long throw. It's a good one. Khoury will clear it long. Beautiful ball. Siobhan John Brown, though, puts it wide. The service is in behind. They've been really good, and that's something that Coach Jones has said. They're creating the chances, they just aren't finishing them. As we cross over into the 90th minute. Mariano. Skips around one. Here goes Heckenberg. Medince. Nimhard. And towards Cromwell. Really smart defending. Josh Ramos.
Stoppage time. 5 minutes have been added.
5 minutes it'll be. It's about right. We've had a couple of injuries and substitutions that, of course, the Fuego goal. So 5 more minutes to determine if we'll be going to penalties or not. Will someone be taking home the full 3? Will they be splitting the points? Ramos. U.S. Virgin Island International. Actually captained the team against the British Virgin Islands in the world's probably most hotly contested international rivalry. U.S. Virgin Islands and British Virgin Islands. Captained the side in World Cup qualifying back in March. He has 16 appearances for them. Only 1 win now. 3-2 win against the Turks and Caicos back in 2022. The referee is going to bring Medince over and issue him a yellow card. So it'll be Tunbridge once again. We saw what he could do from a direct free kick, just put it wide. Now what can the Englishman do? He had an assist in the last game. Game-tying assist against Charlotte earlier in the season, as well as a 96th minute goal against Richmond. Beautiful ball in. Take it off the head of the last man. Just a throw. Tunbridge reloads. Waved away by the referee. Now they break. They've got the numbers. In the end, he had an option to the left and an option to the right. He put it right down the middle, which is where it didn't need to go. Medince. John Brown shrugs off the challenge by Campos. Whips in a ball. 2 minutes plus maybe a little bit more of stoppage time remain. Then we go to penalty kicks unless someone finds a goal. Good interplay. Ramos. Away by Cromwell. Heckenberg. Final minute of time added on. Tried to thread it through for Mariona. Out for Tunbridge. Offside flag comes up very belatedly.
Offside violation, Tormenta.
So we'll see how much time on the end of stoppage time there is. This will be maybe 30 more seconds. And this will surely be the last opportunity before penalty kicks. We've had the 5 added on. Maybe one last lob into the box. Up goes Yaya. Nimhard is going to come with him. Up go the heavy artillery. Cromwell to launch one in. Long throw. Away by Dengler. Medince. Centered header. Campos, and that will do it for regulation. But we are not done. USL League One After Dark continues because we will now go to penalty kicks. 90 minutes, not enough. A goal in the first half for Tormenta. A tying goal from the substitute Medince in the second. And we'll have to separate these two using spot kicks. It has been a back and forth one as we take a look at our full-time highlights. Both sides fighting desperately for the points. They are so important to get. Here was goal number 1. Steedman just looping this one in. Just caught all of it and just saw it float over the arms of Zuluaga. Beautiful goal. I think we'll be seeing more of in the future. They came very close to adding more on. Crosses and set pieces, they came very close on. A lot of missed headers, honestly. Jump over into the second half, though, and the script really flipped. Dimbor Benson's header, and a lot of the steam taken off of it by that deflection. They really owned the second half. Able to get into that groove that they never really found in the first 45. Torres, excellent cross. Just about turned in by Dimbor Benson. Just everything we were missing, they found. Carrera Garcia almost rounding the keeper, but just put it not more than a yard wide. And finally, we got our goal. Back to goal. Lays it in, and there was Medince to score in consecutive games. Game-tying goals. Richmond last week. Tormenta this week. And that is the goal that sends us to penalty kicks. So look at your full-time stats. 15 shots apiece. They really made up in the ground there. It was something like 7-14 in the first half. It really made up ground. It turned that possession stat as well. I mean, they thoroughly deserved at least a point in this game. Corners 4-5. Yellow cards 2-2. It's our first half that really didn't see much from them. They turned things around and thoroughly deserve going to penalty kicks. They very well could have had more. South Georgia the same way around. They left some goals on the table from Jake Dingler headers in and around the box. In the end, probably a point apiece is fair, but of course, we're giving away more than just a point apiece tonight. We'll also be going to penalty kicks to give a bonus penalty point away. And really, this will still be, whoever even gets it, will still be a point dropped, really. And 2 huge points dropped from them. Tormenta, this would not eliminate them, but would put them pretty close to elimination. They would have to have a miracle, basically win out and have everyone else lose out. And then also possibly score a bunch of goals to get that wild card scoring spot in. For Fuego, the 2 points is better than for Tormenta. Still kind of keeps them in the game, but they're definitely losing ground faster than they're gaining it. Once again, these are teams they want to grab maximum points off of each other. Last words for Ian Cameron and Jermaine Jones. The teams will go out for spot kicks. Very simple the way things work out from here. 5 kicks. Whoever leads after those will go home with the bonus point. We're still tied at that point. We'll go to sudden death 1-on-1. We'll see who wins that all-important coin toss. Whether to go first. It looks like Dimbor Benson in Central Valley Fuego have gone first. I feel like the psychology of that has changed over the years, where used to you wanted the winning shot, now you want the first shot to set the pace. And they're sending out the big man, Dimbor Benson. Got a start and an assist in his first appearance. Last time out against Richmond. So 12 yards for Dimbor Benson. Just one of the best stories in American soccer. Came up just months ago from El Farolito after knocking out Central Valley. He can now score in the penalty shootout to help him along. Does so! What an impression he's made. Instant impact. It was very close. Romig giving it all he could, guessing the right way.
For Tormenta FC, number 25, Jake Dingler.
So Dingler missed probably near on 4 or 5 headed opportunities. He can make up for all of that now. Dingler from 12 yards. Rifles it into the side netting. No problem for the man with the captain's armband. Very well taken. Side foots it into the side netting. Aviles goes the wrong way. So now it'll be Yaya, the Ghanaian. Born in Ghana, raised in New York. Just 19 years of age. What can the Ghanaian do? The stutter step. Easy as you like. Rolls it into the bottom corner. Fuego perfect through 2. Just one little hop. Romig went early. Made it easy.
For Tormenta, number 3, Joshua Ramos.
So now Ramos will go. Was a second-team All-American at Dalton State in 2023. He captains the U.S. Virgin Islands. Ramos puts it the other way, but off the bar. The geometry of chance denies him. Too close to the post, and not a friendly bounce. Aviles went the wrong way. Now Alfredo Medins. Goals in back-to-back games to tie them. Scored the goal to tie it against Richmond. Scored the goal to tie it against Tormenta. And now to give them a market advantage in the shootout. Dinks it off the crossbar. Huge miss from Medins. Just when they thought they could see daylight in the shootout. This becomes a massive penalty by the Australian in Lebanon international, Jackson Kouri. He debuted for Lebanon against his home country of Australia back in March. No starts in his last 5 games. Kouri now fires it over. Sent that one halfway back to Georgia. Caught it all wrong, went for power over placement. Missed opportunities for both teams. Heckenberg. The former Tormenta man to put the Fuego on the precipice. Heckenberg, against his former club, has them on the edge of victory in the penalty shootout. Once again, rolling it into the bottom left-hand corner. Not the first to take that option, and not the first to succeed from it.
For Tormenta, number 16, Mason Tunbridge.
Now Tunbridge, the Englishman in must-score territory. He knows all about late-game heroics. He had a 96th minute goal against Richmond earlier in the season. An assist last game. Tunbridge to keep Tormenta alive. Tunbridge scoops it down the middle. Postpones their fate. Another kick. Calm, cool, collected. Made it look easy. Alvarez goes the wrong way.
For the Fuego, number 32, Javier. Verone.
Javier Morona. Yannick Rothfuss making sure the placement is right. The 19-year-old Mariota playing in just his second full 90 of his very young pro career, crosses his heart and bars it down. That was the chance. the opportunity to put the shootout to bed. Andrew Winter.
Number 15, Austin Weiner.
Andrew Winter, the California native in the Central Valley, played his college ball in this state to keep Tormenta alive, sends it to sudden death. Confidently taken. Aviles wrong way again. And now it's 1-for-1. Sudden death. Two misses apiece. True misses. Now Clayton Tor. The most minutes on the team. The man from Palmdale, California. For the Central Valley. Puts it home. Advantage to the Fuego. Well taken, side foot. Romig goes the wrong way.
Number 23, Preston Kilwine.
Now Kilwine. A long career for him. He has bounced around. The 27-year-old Texan. Red Bulls 2, the River Hounds. The Battery. Now Tormenta. Referee's going to have a word with Aviles. Aviles standing off to one side. Kilwine must score to keep them alive. Kilwine, the Texan. Bottom corner. Still we go on. Great penalty kick, one of the best ones taken tonight. Aviles guesses the right way for, I believe, the first time in this shootout. He's been unlucky. In late night in USL League One, keeps stretching on. At this rate, it'll be the wee early hours of the morning. Cromwell. One for one, sudden death at this point. Cromwell, the Ghanaian. Misses it wide. A massive shift in this shootout. The Ghanaian making his first appearance in a while. Getting back into the 11. Just showing some rust.
For Tormenta, number 77, Pedro Campos.
And now it'll be the substitute. Pedro Campos. Central Valley have been in the position to win this shootout multiple times. This is Tormenta's first. Campos to win it! Upper 90. Tormenta take the penalty point and go back to Georgia with the spoils. An up and down roller coaster penalty shootout.
In regulation play, they scored 1 goal. Central Valley Fuego scored 1 goal as well.
Took many, many rounds, but finally the substitute, Pedro Campos.
Tormenta coming out victorious.
Incredible penalty from him, as it will end on penalty kicks in favor of South Georgia. We'll wrap it up for you when we return right here on ESPN+.
At Golden Bear Physical Therapy, our goal is to help you reach the best version of you. We specialize in physical therapy, work injury prevention and rehabilitation, athlete training and sports injury, and so much more. So whether you're trying to get back to work or back to practice, call us today and let us help you.
Jägermeister is the proud supporter, presenting sponsor of the inaugural USL Jägermeister Cup. Take a shot at glory and celebrate the magic of this exciting new tournament all year long. Please drink responsibly. 1-1 is your score on the night. Penalty kicks decided and give the penalty point to South Georgia. It was a great game, start to finish. One of two very different halves. We bring to you our full-time highlights. Two teams dominating two different halves. First half very much tilted in favor of Tormenta. This incredible goal from way out just floats its way up and over the hands of Zuluaga in goal, who started out, was substituted in the 25th minute. Went up and over. In the second half, though, things were very much in favor of the home team, the Fuego. They dominated the second half, outshot this team, outpossessed this team, outplayed this team, really. Dimbor Benson came very close. It wasn't the only time. This header as well here from Benson just about found its way in, were enough for the heroics of Romig. You could just tell they were inching their way in, slowly trying to find a goal that would level this one after they looked so down and out in the first. Siobhan John Brown very nearly rounded the keeper, but just couldn't quite do it. Then in the 66th minute, John Brown would provide a goal. This time is the assist to the substitute Madence, who scores the game-tying goal in 2 games in a row. Just really shows the sort of fight that is in this Fuego team. They've got it in them, most certainly. And we go on to penalties. Cromwell, in sudden death, misses his wide. And it was Pedro Campos with the best penalty on the night into the roof of the net to win it and get the penalty point for South Georgia. Well, League One After Dark never disappoints. 1-1 after 90, and then eventually 5-4 on penalty kicks. Tormenta will be going back to Georgia with the extra point. For myself, Zach Burley, all of our incredible crew, we say thank you for staying up late into the night with us. That's another League One After Dark in the books. From all of us here, we say thanks for tuning in, and good night.